Welcome to The View from the African Regional Conference 2015. I'm James King, the banker's regional editor, and I'm joined today by Tim Masela, who is the head of National Payment System at the South African Reserve Bank. Tim, thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Tim, you've just finished a panel discussion covering the topic of CIRES, which is the Southern African Development Community's new regional payment system. Now, perhaps just for our viewers who might not be aware, could you give us just a quick background as to kind of the positive political factors which led to its formation?
Yes, thank you. The CIRES system came into being on the back of the initiative that the Committee of Central Bank Governors took to support the Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan for SADC. And in this regard, the objective was to have a common central bank common currency in 2018. And in this regard, in 2009, the governors requested the Payment System Subcommittee to initiate this project. And it was actually based on the CMA, which is a four-country community where the rand was accepted as a currency. And in this regard, we were able to test all the concept, resolve the legal issues in terms of having the contractual agreements on the system. But I'm glad to report that at this point in time, we have 5 additional countries drawn from the region outside of the CMA. So in total, we have 9 countries, and the volume and values on the system are growing day to day. And of course, there's issues that we are still resolving in order to ensure that we have a smooth system going forward.
So there are 9 countries and over 70 commercial banks now using CIRES, is that correct?
Yes.
So the next step now, obviously, the world is watching this because it's a fantastic example of regional integration and a very positive influence on sort of the development of the Southern African economy.
Yes.
But what are the challenges in terms of the next step of implementation?
Yes. At this point in time, the main challenge that we are resolving, and we hope to have resolved it quite soon, is to engage on the currency of settlement, because the system is only settling in rand. There's challenges, if you can imagine, where the exporter is invoicing in a currency other than rand. We need to ensure that the importer is able to pay an equivalent currency. So we're looking at maybe seeing whether we need to accommodate other currencies in the system, and this will be resolved shortly, because this is what is being discussed by the committee with the users of the system being the commercial banks, which would lead to approvals by the governors as to how we go forward in resolving this matter. But we think it's something that we should resolve quite soon, as well as align to that being the roadmap for the system in terms of ownership, hosting, and operation.
Now, Tim, you also mentioned just a little earlier that obviously the CIRES system now is geared towards sort of higher value payments, and you're now looking to getting into lower value sort of retail payments, but also into remittances and that kind of thing. So how is that achieved, and what are the key challenges there?
Yes. At this point in time, I'm glad to report that we are due to probably license a regional clearing system operator. We are currently engaging as central banks to give no objections so that the licensing can proceed. In most probability, we'll start with the EFT stream, the EFT credit, which will pave the way for further regional retail streams. But to me, the burning point is on remittances, because as we know, in our region, the cost of remittances are very high, and the bulk of remittances are going through informal channels. So we have to leverage the investment in CIRES and ensure that we build a middle mile infrastructure that would bring efficiency in the space of remittances. But of course, we recognize that the point of sale transactions within the region, the ATM transactions, should be facilitated for the settlement in CIRES, such that parties traveling from one country to another have the same feel as though they are transacting back at home.
Tim, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.